Excited to welcome the newest additions to the Twin Cities and to the Timberwolves family. Last week, the Timberwolves added to their talented core by acquiring Rob Dillingham, the 8th overall pick in the 2024 NBA draft, and drafting guard Terrence Shannon Jr. with the 27th overall selection. Rob averaged 15 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds in his freshman season at Kentucky, and his 48% shooting and 44% from deep helped him earn all Sixth Man of the Year in the SEC. Rob not only was named to the All-Conference freshman team, but also named second team All-SEC, and his 44% mark from three ranked 4th best in the conference among players who averaged 2 or more made threes per game. TJ joins the Timberwolves after spending the last 2 seasons at the University of Illinois. He finished up an impressive spring. He was 3rd in the country in scoring, averaging 23 points a game, to go along with 4 rebounds and 2 assists on 48% shooting. He was named an AP All-American third-team selection, and after leading the Illini to the Elite Eight for the first time since 2005, he was named to the NCAA Tournament All-East Region team. TJ is also no stranger to this building. He was named the 2024 Big Ten Tournament's Most Outstanding Player, which was held right here at Target Center just a few months ago. We'll tip off today's press conference with some questions from our local media members. A reminder, please wait until you're called upon, then identify yourself with your name and your affiliation before asking your question. And for those watching on Zoom or participating on Zoom, please use the raise your hand icon if you'd like to ask a question. Let's get things started. Chris?
Chris Hine from the Star Tribune. Rob, what was your reaction when you saw the Timberwolves were moving up in the draft, and kind of what have your conversations been like with Coach Finch and Tim on your fit here?
It was just a crazy experience for real to even think, because Timberwolves is one of the best teams in the NBA, so I wouldn't think I'd go to a contender right off rip. So me seeing that I'm going to Timberwolves, it was just a blessing for real, and I was just happy that I got to learn from so many vets that's on the team and so many players that's done it. And talking to Coach, like, he just made me feel comfortable, and he told me that I'm going to have a role as long as I have responsibility and I do what I'm supposed to do. So I feel like it's a 2-way streak, and as long as I keep it the right way, then it's going to go good.
Playing with Anthony Edwards, Mike Conley, and some of the guys that are at the guard position on this team.
Oh, I feel great because Anthony Edwards, he has all the confidence in the world, and I feel like that just helps you grow as a player. And then it's Mike Conley. Mike Conley's been one of the best guards in the league forever, and at one time he was the most paid guard in the league. So Mike Conley, to learn from, is just a blessing to learn, and I feel like it's just a perfect fit.
Terrence, for you, it was a very trying year for you. What did it mean to get that call on draft night after the year that you've been through?
I was just grateful, blessed for them to take the chance on me and to come to Minnesota, knowing I played here before in the Target Center. But I was just happy and grateful and blessed for the opportunity, and I was just happy and excited.
Britt Robson from MinPost. We heard from Tim on draft night, but Chris, we haven't heard from you about your impressions of these 2 draft picks.
Yeah, I think all credit to Tim and his team. It's an amazing job to watch them navigate the draft and be aggressive. In a draft where we found great opportunity and great talent. And on the back of that, we were very, very excited to welcome in Rob and TJ. Both players bring a dimension that we really could use. Explosive, love to play in the open court, live in the paint, a scoring mindset. And we feel like as we kind of looked at where we may have fallen a little short last season, we were able to address a lot of those needs in the draft, and just excited to get them on board and watch their journey begin.
Reggie Wilson with KARE 11. Terrence, no draft pick likes to over here. No draft pick usually likes to wait as long as you had to wait to hear your name called. But how fortunate do you feel that you landed in this situation?
I'm very fortunate. I'm coming to a winning team and real experienced, and I'm looking to help them win the championship. Just coming in and impacting whatever way I can. But I'm just grateful. Like I said before, I'm happy to be here and just ready to get to work.
Mike Max, WCCO. Coach Finch, when you get two guys like this that have talent, and now you've got a team that's achieved like they have, what's more difficult to integrate them with the team that is veterans now, and they have high expectations and they want minimum turnovers? Is that the toughest part when you have two talented players like this that you're bringing in?
Well, I think the best opportunities to develop young talent is to develop them into specific roles, and those roles are usually well defined by teams that are ready to win and are winning, and you know what you need, and you can kind of go in there and first and foremost try to excel in that role. It's great to have young players playing a lot of minutes, giving them a lot of opportunities, but sometimes they can maybe bite off a little more than they can chew. So I think in our situation with the opportunities that we have, they're certainly there for them. There's roles to be had, roles to be earned, but we also know what they look like and how specific those are, and that's where we're going to start and go in there. And if you can nail that, and then we try to grow everyone's game from there. So.
Travis Singleton, sneakerreporter.com. Just wanted to talk to both of you guys. What do you expect to actually see in this first year, and also what can Minnesota fans expect from you guys on the court, both of you?
I would say just to expect the same thing as last year. Minnesota's Timberwolves is already team before we got here, so whatever we can do to make them better, even if it's the little things, well, it's going to be the little things, that's what we're going to do. So we're not focused on everything that's around us. I feel like we just going to make the best of what we got, and whatever coach wants us to do, we're going to make sure it happens. And if it don't, then we're not going to be on the floor.
Yeah, just being ourselves, not doing too much, just doing what we're asked. And like you said, our role will expand, but just doing what we're asked from the jump, and I expect on winning the championship, and that's what we came here to do. They fell a little short this year, but it's always next year, and that's what we plan on doing.
Ahmad Hicks, Fox 9. Two-part question for both of you guys. Who was some of the veterans that reached out to you, and what was one of the more memorable moments from that exchange you guys had?
I'll go first. You go first. Mike Conley had hit me. That's obviously a big thing because that's the point guard. He's a legendary point guard. So he was just telling me it was a great fit and a great spot for me to learn, and that just shows me learning from him. That's like a big thing for me. So Mike, Rudy, Jay McDaniels, Cat, all of them just hit us just saying like it's going to be a good situation, and as long as we're willing to work, it's going to happen.
Yeah, just crazy hearing for some of the guys, just watching them on TV, and it becoming to reality being their teammates. But man, it was just a good feeling having those guys congratulate you and welcome you to the team.
Terrence, obviously you went through a lot on and off the court last season. What did you learn about yourself that maybe you didn't know prior to that?
I would say how good of a leader that I can be. It made me a better leader, and I just gravitated towards my team and coaches more, family, but it made me a better leader, and I realized how good of a leader I can be.
Gentlemen, I'm on your right. Chris Long from KSTP Television. Welcome. Who are the guys you loved watching play in the league? Who's maybe your favorite player, and has it hit you yet that here in just a few weeks you're going to be playing alongside whoever that person is, or against, I should say?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I like all the players in the league, so I can't really say a certain player right now because we're going to really be playing against them. But of all time, I'd probably say like Kobe, Steve Nash, players like that. Those are my favorite players.
Yeah, man. It's a lot of players that's exciting, including Ant, probably the best two-way player in the NBA, and just somebody like when me playing a position that I am, that's what I would want to be like, being considered one of the best two-way players in the NBA. So it was really fun watching Ant this year, and what he did for the Timberwolves.
We'll take a question via Zoom. Go ahead.
Hey guys, John Krasinski from The Athletic. Question for both Terrence and Rob first. Just what was it like the last day or so walking around Target Center, walking around the practice facility, and maybe after the craziness of draft week, kind of realizing that, hey, your dream is finally here and you're starting your journey in the NBA?
I would say it's just, it don't even feel real, honestly. I feel like it won't feel real until we start actually playing with the guys and doing everything with the guys every day. But it don't feel real walking through, and so I don't even know what to say about that. It's hard to explain, but once we start hooping, it would definitely feel real.
Yeah, just taking everything in day by day. Like Rob said, it's still a shocking feeling, and still just taking it all in and getting used to everything.
Hey, Rob, Pat Ricey from the Minneapolis paper. You're coming from Kentucky. The fans here can't be any tougher on you than they are in Kentucky. They like to win down there. How did you handle that, and what happened to Cal? What happened to him?
I mean, we handled it well because we started off winning. When you win it, they with you. So even when we started losing, I felt like they was kind of with us because we were doing all we could to compete. So I feel like with any fans, you're going to have highs and lows, but it's about winning. So if you're not winning, it's your fault, honestly. But it is the fans' right to be mad at you. So, but I say I'm just going to take it by just taking every day the same way and going about it every day. And I don't know about what happened to Coach I don't know.
Any other questions?
Hey, Chris, John here one more time. Just in terms of both the player development staff that you have and then the veterans in the locker room, like, what do you think of the environment you guys are going to provide for two young guys to come in and not just develop, but hopefully be relied upon to play early on in this season?
Well, as we know, we have great confidence in our staff. I think they've done an amazing job of developing our young core. That's on display every single night we take the floor. I think we have the right amount of energy in the building every single day when guys come in. It's a great place to learn, and that's aided by incredible vets. Not just about what they can teach the players on the floor, but it's also as much. And we talked about this today with Rob and TJ, that learning how to be a pro, from how you prepare, how you schedule your routine, how you eat, how you sleep. How you get your mind right to play or to not play, and handle all the successes and failures that come in between those things. So, we feel really confident in our staff. We have a unbelievably talented staff all the way through, and the player development section of our staff is probably, one of our greatest success stories, what we've been able to do with our young players. So we're excited to get these guys in the fold and see what they can do.
Chris, how do you envision just like the competition for these kind of rotation spots that are opening up for you playing out with with these guys and some of the guys that you've had in the system now for a few years?
Yeah, there's definitely going to be opportunities there for sure. We've talked about this throughout the season, that oftentimes when when you have a roster that's constructed like ours with Cat at the 4 and then moving to the 5 as your backup, it kind of may cap you a little bit in some of the things you're able to do. But one thing we keep doing is we keep adding players that are super versatile, gives us multiple lineup combinations, ultimate flexibility and subbing for each other. We got some holes right away that need to be plugged. And there's no doubt that they're going to have to be filled by young players, whether it be these two guys or guys that have already been in the system and in the gym. So for me, that's what we need to do, and we're excited about that challenge, and we're looking forward to these guys stepping up to it.
Chris, you mentioned specific roles as one of the advantages, clearly defined needs. How will you approach that in Summer League? Can you get up and ramp that up that quickly, and will it be like Rob, learning more about the point guard? What specifically are you looking to develop here?
Yeah, I think with Summer League, you got to be careful. It's a great opportunity for young guys to go out there and play. It's probably some of the hardest playing basketball you'll ever see anywhere in the world. But most important is that learn the basics of our system, compete with everything they have. Getting integrated into the team and the culture, You know, it's a little hard to replicate, you know, playing alongside a Rudy or an Ant or a Cat. So we try to de-emphasize a little bit of that, and we want these guys to be the best version of themselves. So try to create a system where that kind of rises to the top. So.
Questions for Tim. Tim, how do you envision, or what are you looking for as free agency kind of plays out here towards the end of the process? And is there any kind of talk with Rudy's camp on an extension with him?
Yeah, we're just looking to continue to add versatile pieces. Certainly, we've had a lot of success, so not just types of players, but types of people, self-motivated. I think Finchy touched on it. We've talked to Robert and TJ about it a bunch. You know, we can't control wins and losses, that we control the environment which we create for these guys. So we're very, very respectful of how delicate that locker room balance is. So more so than even specific skill sets, I think it's the person. You know, we love Rudy to be here for a really long time. We're still in the middle of free agency. We haven't really jumped in deeper beyond that, but obviously we're not here without Rudy. We're not in the West Conference Finals without Rudy, and we hope this is Rudy's last stop.